This is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point. And as promised, I told you guys in my last video that I did about Shirley Strawberry that I was trying to figure out a way to create some content so YouTube could get off my back, okay? So I decided that because I love the Country Wayne skits so much that I would start doing like a real life evaluation of the skits, because a lot of his skits do deal with real life issues, and it's just, you know, food for thought. Like, how would you react in a situation like some of the situations that he has on his show? So I came up with this idea back in like the end of August, and so I have been making my notes. I've been trying to put all this together, you know, getting my thoughts together, but then I've just been so busy with other stuff that I never did get around to do the videos. And so I'm trying to figure out now which route to take to catch up on the past month and also bring you guys current content that is being put out. And if you guys follow the Country Wayne skits, you know they put out about 8 skits every day. Like, they start around 9 o'clock a.m. Sometimes they're uploading skits after midnight, and so you never know what you're going to get. But on average, there's about 8 or 9 skits that come out every day. Some of them are on the same theme. Some of them, he has like several different storylines. Like the one I'm going to cover in this video is about the characters Shayla and Amber, who are best friends. And then Amber and Country Wayne used to date, and this is on the skits, not real life, okay? They used to date, but they've broken up, and now Amber is engaged to get married to another character by the name of Anthony. And what's so crazy about the Country Wayne skits, and you guys tell me, have you ever dated multiple friends before? Like, if you're a lady, have you ever dated multiple men who are connected to each other? Because in these skits, Country Wayne has dated Amber, broke up with Amber because he had fell for this chick named Sarah, who is his administrative assistant. Amber, when she was introduced to the show, was the ex-girlfriend of Country Wayne's friend named Michael. Okay, Mike Bless, you might know from Nephew Tommy's show. I think it's called Ready to Love. He was, or Ready for Love. He was on the first episode, made it to the end. Everybody was so happy for him and the young lady whose name I can't remember right now. But then we found out like a month later they had broken up. And so Mike Bless, I guess, has the connection with OWN, because a lot of the actors and actresses that are in these Country Wayne skits have actually appeared on the OWN network in various dating shows. And then some of these actresses, you know, they also have done other movies, like the one character Rolanda, who I have seen on a lot of different movies, a lot of different TV shows. I think the biggest one I would have to say is she was on the show that comes on NBC, Chicago Fire. She appeared on that. But anyway, so Amber has dated Wayne, she's dated Mike, and she's dated another character by the name of Anthony. So now Amber and Anthony are engaged to be married. They're supposed to be having this wedding that is going to cost like over $250,000, because her wedding dress was like $18,000. The engagement ring was over 20, excuse me. Whew, child, if you've been rocking with me, you know my voice has a life of its own, so I had to apologize. So the engagement ring was over $20,000, the wedding dress $18,000, and then the wedding itself is going to be $250,000. Anthony has recently lost millions of dollars in a Ponzi scheme, a stock Ponzi scheme, where basically another person on the show is going through a divorce, and he is dabbling in the stock market. And basically, I can't think of pump and dump. I think that's what they call this Ponzi scheme, where basically you get people with money to invest in these stocks, right, which pumps the stock up. And then you go and you tell other people like, hey, look how great this stock is doing, and you need to invest too. Then other people invest a bunch of money, and then because of their investment, the stock is steady growing, but then the second somebody takes their money out, which in this case it was Rolanda, took like $400,000 out of the stock at one time because Wayne had told her like something's not right about the stock. So by Rolanda taking her $400,000 out, it caused the stock to plummet, and so Anthony lost like $2 million. And so Amber, who used to date Wayne, now engaged to Anthony, is cheating on Anthony with Wayne. Okay, so did any of that make sense to you guys? If it did, put a 1 down in the comments and let me know that you got this. So my question to you is, have you ever dated multiple men who were somehow connected to each other, either through friendship, through business, or through family? Has that something you've ever done? And the same for the men who are watching. Put a 2 in the comments if you have dated a woman that has, been with multiple men that you know about. So where we pick up with the story is that Amber has a friend named Shayla, and Shayla is dating Wayne's brother Arby. And so Shayla is pretty much like, Amber, you are dead wrong. You have this great man over here who loves you, who adores you, who is about to spend $250,000 on your dream wedding when you don't even have that many people to invite to a dream wedding. Like, Anthony lives in this really nice house on a nice estate. They could have had that wedding in the backyard. Okay, pitch the tent. Did y'all see that video with the girl who was graduating from high school, and I guess she had gotten all these scholarships so she didn't have to pay for college? So the parents decided, in lieu of paying for college, they would take the money that they had saved for her college tuition and give her this dream prom. And it was like in the back, it was like a regular neighborhood. They transformed the backyard into this beautiful purple and gold oasis. Okay, Amber and Anthony, you guys need to watch that video and get y'all some tents and balloons and go in that backyard, because I don't know why y'all spend $250,000 that Anthony doesn't even have anymore, because he done, his house, he went to the bank to get a loan to pay for the wedding and found out that his credit rating has dropped. And so we found out that Anthony isn't as rich as he has pretended to be, and he's out here about to stroke out. And so anyway, that's like in past videos. That's why I say it's like so much to try and get caught up on. I didn't really know where to start. But we're at the point where Shayla, who won, is telling Amber that she's wrong, that she shouldn't be doing Anthony this way. And in the meantime, as she's giving Amber this really good advice, Shayla is falling in love with Anthony. Okay, and so now she is really dug in and trying to get Amber to understand, you're making a big mistake. This is a great man. Like, he would give you the world, would do anything for you. Amber, why are you doing this? And so Amber is basically telling Shayla, mind your business. I got this under control. Like, are you jealous that I am able to, have the dream, the man of my dream, as well as have fun with my ex, who's a multi-millionaire? Like, girl, I'm living the best life. And she is telling Shayla, like, mind your own business. Like, what is your problem? what are you doing? And Shayla is just not having it. She's like really on Amber, and it is really starting to impact their friendship because Shayla wants Amber to like, hey, you need to be focused on the wedding. Stop going over there laying up with Wayne. Recognize that you have this great guy who loves you and adores you, and this is what you should be focused on. And so following this particular skit, because I'm actually, in this video, I'm going to cover 3 skits that all pertain to this one topic. And so I wanted to read to you guys some of the top comments that people were making on the video. Let me see. Y'all know I don't have my glasses on, so let me blow this up so I can read the comments. Okay, so the first comment was from Donna Wooten Harvey, and she says that Shayla said, "Who's texting us?" Because during the video, Amber is getting text messages from Wayne, and so while she's arguing with Shayla, she's also smiling and basically telling Wayne that she is on her way over. Just hold tight. She will be there. So Lakeisha, okay, this isn't gonna let me do it so big. So Lakeisha Johnson says, Shay, yes, tell her again regarding Shayla telling Amber that she's out of order. Because at this point, you need to protect Anthony. Like, nobody's protecting Anthony. So Shayla, we need you to step in and protect Anthony. And so Andre Martin said, shooting the messenger doesn't kill the truth. Like, yeah, you may be mad at Shayla for telling you that you're wrong, you're being disgusting, but the truth is the truth, and you are doing Anthony wrong, and it is going to come back and bite you in the butt. So Twyla Colbert said, I don't believe Anthony would believe it anyway. This is something he has to see for himself. So she's saying, which we all probably know, you tell your friends something for their own good. They don't believe you. They got to see it for themselves, experience it for themselves. And I remember Sister Soldier, I think she was a rapper, like political rapper. She wrote the book, The Coldest Winter Ever, and a couple more in that series. And I saw her at the Essence Festival one year, and one of the things that she said that stuck out to me is that she said, I can tell you that there's a sniper over on 32nd Street and 8th Avenue. I'm just making up the streets. I can't remember what they were for real. She said, so don't go that way. She said, well, some of y'all have to go that way. You got to see for yourself. You got to get shot for yourself. And so what this lady is saying is that Anthony's going to have to get shot for himself because he is so up Amber's behind that he's not going to believe what anybody else has to say about her. So Tristan Durant says, Shayla's infatuations aside, I wouldn't be mad at all if she decided to end their friendship. Go tell Anthony, because this brother definitely doesn't deserve this. And finally, let Mr. Man of God, referring to Country Wayne, get what's coming to him. And so when he's talking about the infatuations, remember I told you Shayla is now developing a crush on Anthony. And so she's like in the bed with RB, her boyfriend, dreaming about Anthony. It's just a whole hot ghetto mess. So Gio the chef says, the stage is being set and the moment is almost right. I see the intensity building slowly, but building, laugh out loud. Shh, is about to hit the fan. Because Amber is reckless and sloppy, and at this point, she like a junkie looking for a fix. Okay, so Patricia Payton said, I like Shayla for being that friend that tells you what you need to hear instead of what you want to hear. Yes, we all need friends like that who are going to be upfront and honest with us no matter what we are doing. So Robert McLeod said, sick of her with this judgment, foolishness, because she hate hearing the truth. Telling the truth about you is not judging you. I agree. So Javon Davis says, about time. That's what I'm talking about. Put her in her place. Now Amber looking crazy. Shayla should have been said something. And what I love about the comments on these skits is that it's a mixture of both men and women. And so it's good to get the male perspective as well as the female perspective. So Alana Brown says, I cannot wait until Amber gets kicked to the curb and petty Wayne wants nothing to do with her again. Because trust me, we all know once Anthony and Amber break up, Wayne is going to be over Amber, because that's just how he rolls. And then she goes on to say she's going to regret this conversation, and I hope it happens sooner rather than later. And then the last comment, Lavonda Deloney said, go ahead, Shayla. I personally give you a girl pass to step on in there. Sweep Anthony off his feet. Each one, teach one. 100%. Now, I don't agree with Shayla messing with Anthony. I don't think that should happen, but I do appreciate her being that friend who will tell her friend what she doesn't want to hear, and just let her know, like, girl, you are living foul. This is not right. Okay, so now we're going to move on over to video 2. Ooh, y'all, I had to turn off my light because I was looking at the playback and I was like, dang, I look really pale and lifeless with this light on. I hope this is better. Maybe I need to go to the doctor and get my blood checked, because I just look like a vampire had to suck the life out of me, and I'm not wearing any makeup. So it's not the makeup, but I'm probably about 2 shades darker than what I'm coming across on this camera, at least in the first part of this video. I don't know what it's looking like now. So anyway, moving over to the second video. So in the second video, Amber has left Shayla, who then just attacked her self-esteem, okay? And she is now over at Wayne's place. And so, you know, Wayne greets her, and, you know, he greets her with a kiss like he always does, because he's ready to get busy, right? He's ready to get them draws, okay? And so he gives her a kiss, and, you know, she acts like she's all flustered and playing the victim now. And so she tells Wayne that she can't believe that he sent her this text message while she was standing in front of Shayla. And I'm sitting there saying, well, did he know you was standing in front of Shayla and Shayla was telling you about yourself when he sent the text message? Like, girl, come on. So anyway, she tells him, you know, about their argument. And oh, guys, I almost forgot, I did forget to mention in the last video when Shayla and Amber were going back and forth, Shayla told Amber that Anthony was too good for her. So that's why Amber is really in her feelings, because I think she had said, well, what do you mean? You mean I'm not good enough? And Shayla was like, well, no, he's just a really good man. He's doing all this for you and he deserves better. So she tells Wayne, you know, all about the argument. And so Amber asks Wayne, why wasn't she good enough for him to marry? Because remember, I told you guys, Wayne and Amber used to date. And so the story with the two of them, Amber, I think, was trying to get back with Mike, but Mike was with Ro. It's been a minute, okay? But it's like they just be passing the plate. It's like when the church does the offering more than once, that's what they do on the Country Wayne skits. They just pass each other around from one person to the next. So anyway, so Shayla and Wayne got together because I think Mike, and if you follow these skits, please in the comments tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I think Shayla was trying to get back at Mike and she ended up sleeping with Wayne, and Wayne wasn't looking for a relationship. He's never looking for a relationship, to be honest. So they slept together. Amber, like most women, took it to be more than what it really was, and so she kind of put herself on Wayne, and she came into the situation like being really bossy, like she was the woman of the house, and Wayne had to constantly check her like, well, we just, you know, doing this thing. Like, it's never a relationship, it's never a commitment, that they're just doing this thing. They enjoy each other's company. So Wayne hired an assistant by the name of Sarah, and Sarah, I think, is, well, I think all of them in real life are in their 30s, but Sarah looked really young. Pretty girl, they're all pretty, but you know, some of them, you know how men like a certain thing, and so Sarah, I think, fit that theme, you know, the light skin, long hair, whereas Amber, I can never tell if Amber is my complexion or if Amber is light skin. I think the lighting on the show does a lot to the complexion of the actors, especially the women. It seems like the men, if the men are dark, they're dark. If the men are light, they're light. They come through on the skits as their true skin tone. But with the women, some of the women, you can't tell. Like, you'll see them on their Instagram and you're like, oh my God, like they don't look like that on the skit. So colorism, I think, plays a lot in the Country Wayne skits. And if you've been following around and you read the comments and you get down in the comments, you will see, especially when they were on Instagram. He took the skits off of Instagram, but when they were over there, like, the people used to get in deep and dirty, okay, about the colorism and how Wayne has all these beautiful dark-skinned daughters, but all the women that he dates on the skits are really light-skinned. And then people say, well, Amber's not light-skinned, so I'm not sure of Amber's true complexion. Like I said, I'm thinking maybe her and I are the same complexion. Like, I'm brown, like darker brown, more darker brown than lighter brown. But like I said, she comes out in different hues on the show. So anyway, Wayne was falling for Sarah, who was his assistant. So Sarah and Amber were kind of like being catty at each other. So now that Wayne is pursuing Sarah, he's kind of like, doesn't want, kind of like the doll, when you don't want your doll anymore, you just toss it off to the side because you have a new doll or a new truck, new toy to play with. And that's sort of how Wayne does the women in his life. And so Amber comes in one night when Sarah and Wayne are watching the Cowboys game, and I think they kissed each other and Amber saw them kiss. And so at that point, Amber had to go. Wayne kicked her to the curb and basically told her, you were never my girlfriend. We were never in a relationship. And that's what he does over and over to the women. He treats them like queens in terms of what he does for them. But you'll rarely see him go on dates with the women in the skits. You'll rarely see him, he'll introduce them to his friends if they happen to run into each other. But you know what it feels like to be in a relationship with somebody and then in your real life, you know their family, you know everybody. And one thing I can say about Wayne, even though he doesn't commit to the women, he will have them around his children, he'll have them around, you know, his family members. But it's not like, I'm taking you to Thanksgiving dinner, I'm taking you to Christmas dinner, you know, at my parents' house, at my sister's house, or anything like that. But he will, like if he's in the car and he needs to go by his grandmother's house, and I miss the skits with his grandma. He hasn't done any skits with her in over a year, so I hope she's like okay. But he, you know, if he's with you and he happens to run into you, he'll introduce, he doesn't seem embarrassed, but he's not taking you out on double dates and that type of thing. And these women just fall for it over and over, know how he is. But anyway, okay, so Amber, why she's putting this relationship with Anthony on the line after Wayne did her so dirty with Sarah, like changed the locks, you know, say, give me my keys, and then I think he changed the locks so that she couldn't keep coming into the house. Like, he just, but the women let him, and I guess that's what it all comes down to. Like, a man can only do to us what we allow them to do. So anyway, Amber asks Wayne, why wasn't she good enough for him to marry? And then Wayne says that, you know, he's honest with her. He says, I don't want to be locked down. And that basically Amber should never let another person make her feel less than, you know, what she feels about herself. And so Amber admits that she does feel kind of low and that she doesn't feel that she deserves Anthony. So basically she's acknowledging what Shayla said was right. So Wayne, being Wayne, okay, tells her, don't let other people dictate how she feels about herself, because they are projecting how they feel about themselves. So he's basically telling her that the reason Shayla is telling you that you don't deserve Anthony is because Shayla doesn't deserve Arby. Like, who is Arby? Arby done had a whole baby on Shayla that we don't even see or hear nothing about the baby. And that's the other thing about these skits that annoy me, is that they'll bring in the storyline, bring in characters, and then all of a sudden the storyline is just gone and no resolution. So we don't know what's going on with Arby and the baby mama and the baby because they just were written out the skits. So anyway, he's basically telling her Shayla is projecting whatever she's feeling about her relationship with Arby, and that Amber shouldn't pay Shayla any attention. So then he says that people in their circle know how they are doing, know what they're doing, know that they're together. Not so much Wayne, like, because you always have an excuse when somebody catches you with Amber, so they don't really know. They may have an idea, but they don't really know. I mean, Shayla knows, Arby knows. I think a couple of more people may know, but you can't say that your circle of friends everybody knows. And so he says that but him and Amber don't know what those people are hiding, so they could be cheating on their significant others. They don't know because they're not telling anybody. So he says that everyone has something to hide except for him, because he lives his life proud and out loud, okay? And so, you know, if Amber wants to keep hiding the fact that she's seeing him, that's on Amber, but he's going to live in his truth. So Amber is so far up Wayne's butt, okay, that she's listening to him just talk crazy, like, because he has nothing to lose. But girl, you got everything to lose in this situation, because Wayne is not going to want you after you break up with Anthony. So Wayne says that he's covering Amber, okay, he's protecting her. He then starts talking about the ring that Anthony bought, and how, like, he was shocked that Anthony paid $20-some thousand for that ring, and how beautiful it was, and basically let Amber know, I would never buy you or any other woman a ring like that, so you better hold on to Anthony. And let's see, what else does he say? So then he moves on from talking about how beautiful the ring is to talking about how beautiful Amber is and what a special person she is. Like, she's so special, but she's not special enough for you to stop hiding her behind the scenes and cheating with her. And, you know, she's so special that you won't go to Anthony and say, hey, I had a change of heart, I want Amber back, okay? So we're not going to miss out on that, Wayne, okay, because we know you are full of it. And let's see, he tells Amber what they are doing is wrong, but neither of them is married, so don't worry about Shayla. Besides, everyone craves junk food at some point when they know they should be eating healthy. He then convinces her to go inside, aka let's go get a quickie, let's hop in the site before you have to be back over there with Anthony. Okay, so what do y'all think about Wayne? Do you know people like Wayne who are just habitual cheaters? I've dated habitual cheaters before, and Wayne is playing the hell at this part, because they play on your sensibilities, on your gullibility, okay? They know that you don't know no better, okay? So let me know in the comments, do you know somebody like Wayne? If one of your friends, well, y'all see I am sweating. I got the AC on, I got the portable AC on, but when I start doing these videos, I just get really hot. Anyway, do you know somebody who has a really good spouse, but they are cheating on their spouse, and they're cheating on their spouse for somebody who doesn't mean them any good? So let's jump into these comments, okay? So Victoria McMorris says, now you know not to go and tell Wayne nothing. He is that yes person who will always agree with you as long as you continue to do what they want you to do. He was straight up with the fact that he doesn't want to be tied down though. Just accept your wrongdoing, Amber, and don't be so mad at Shayla. I agree with that. And that's one thing about Wayne. Wayne is so honest with the people that he's deceiving that they think that they could write narratives in their head based on what Wayne has just said, when Wayne is like telling you the absolute truth. and they convinced themselves that he, what's that saying? Don't serve me piss and tell me it's lemonade. That's what's going on. Like, he is pissing all over Amber, and she drinking the piss, but telling herself that it's not piss, that it's lemonade, and it tastes good. Okay. So Kathleen Williams wrote, "I'm so sick of these two. Ugh." Okay. Latasha Michelle Bellamy says, "Wayne just said, quote unquote, I don't want to be locked down. We should tell her if her man finds out Wayne's still just gonna be sleeping with her. No relationship, nothing." Brandy So Happy Clark wrote, "This is the most honest conversation Wayne has ever had. Laugh out loud. And Miss Amber, Shayla is correct. Anthony is too good for you. And I'm only saying that because you're cheating on him. And both of y'all, you and Wayne, are always in his space, smiling and stuff like that is going on." I agree. And that's the part that gets me, is how Wayne can be all up in Anthony's face, doing business with Anthony, knowing that he's sticking and kicking it with his woman, his fiancée, the woman that he is about to marry in a few weeks. So let's see, Harriet Samaru, I think her name is. And look, if y'all watched my last video, I told y'all that I have a brand new laptop laying about 6 feet away from me that I am too lazy to take out the box, but I sit here and struggle daily with this keyboard and trying to scroll on this laptop, knowing that the keyboard is gone, the touch pad in my computer is gone. So she says she ain't lying to what Wayne is actually telling. No, she isn't listening to what Wayne is actually telling her about why he ain't choose her. She's good enough to roll around in the hay, but not good enough to lock down. I guess she has to find out the hard way. Don't so many of us have to find out the hard way? So Corey Isaac says, Imani must be on a week-to-week contract. So Imani is another woman that Wayne is messing with, who so just a little backstory. Wayne's cousin introduced him to Sarah because Sarah had started this administrative assistant business. So Wayne was with Amber, he met Sarah, fell for Sarah, got rid of Amber, treated Amber really nasty until she actually got rid of herself. But then Sarah was in a relationship, and Sarah was going to tell her boyfriend that she was leaving him for Wayne, but then the boyfriend started getting some act right, okay, and started treating her better. So they were all going to Miami for a business trip. So Sarah's boyfriend wanted to go, or Sarah invited the boyfriend. So then Sarah has a friend named Erica. I know it's crazy, but y'all got to write this down to keep up. So Sarah told Erica to come to Miami with them, and for Erica to pretend like she was dating Wayne so that her boyfriend Mike wouldn't be suspicious that something was going on between Wayne and Sarah. But at this point, the boyfriend started, treating Sarah better, and they decided that they were going to stay together. So they get down to Miami, and Wayne and Erica had to pretend like they were dating. And so the first night they were there, Erica slept in the bed and made Wayne sleep on the sofa. So then the second night, I guess they started talking, and they realized that Sarah and Mike really were, going to work things out. Child, they ended up knocking boots. It ended up destroying her friendship with Sarah. Like, how is Sarah mad when you were in a whole relationship? So then Wayne started dating, like he was really in a relationship with Erica, like a committed relationship. We are boyfriend, girlfriend type of relationship. People got to respect this relationship, even if I'm not going to respect the relationship. So they were really, really together. I know it's just a lot. So Sarah found out that Wayne and Erica were in a relationship. she got jealous. So she had a friend named Imani, and Imani is from Australia, and she has this, I think, like waxing business or eyebrow business, it's something in the beauty industry. So Sarah got Wayne to invest in Imani's business. Like I said, you got to take notes to keep up with all these women. So when Sarah found out that Wayne and Erica were like really serious about each other and she was all in her feelings, she told Imani to try and talk to Wayne, and she thought that they would make a good couple. Imani was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But then at some point, I guess when Erica and Wayne broke up, Imani decided that her and Wayne could start seeing each other. Erica and Wayne broke up. Imani decided she didn't want a serious relationship with Wayne, that they were just going to be, I guess, fuck buddies. But now she has captured feelings, and so that's what they're talking about when Corey Isaac says, where is Imani? Because Imani just randomly pops up. Like 1 minute she was in all the skits, now we hardly ever see her, so I don't know if she's back in Australia or what's going on. But since he's been dabbling with Imani and Amber, but in these latest skits it's been strictly Amber. We've only seen Imani a couple of times in a few skits. So anyway, Corey Isaac, Imani must be on a week-to-week contract. Laugh out loud. Watch. She pop up on Monday saying, Wayne, where are we going with this? Then he gonna say something stupid about the sun, the moon, and stars, and she gonna fall for it for another week and then disappear again. And that's basically how their relationship has been going. And I'll eventually get to, I think what I may do is like the old videos in the morning, the newer videos in the afternoon, because in the newer videos, Kountry Wayne had the release of his Netflix special. And so, you know, everybody was congratulating him, coming by and whatever. But Imani was nowhere to be found. And then Wayne and Amber ended up spending the night together, you know, when the special came out the other night. And everybody was like, well, where is Imani? Shouldn't he be watching the special with Imani? But we haven't heard from Imani in a few weeks. But anyway, so Donna Dime, D-H-Y, Diane, Donna Dayan, D-H-Y-N-N-E. So it says, at this point, Amber is acting like a lot of women in her situation, risking it all for the thrill and not the long term. It's sad because Wayne is straight up telling her he won't commit to her, period. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. I can't remember what movie that was from. Andre Martin says, no, Brother Wayne, everybody's not hiding the same situation. There are still some people who have integrity, game, recognize game. And then Timothy S. Starks says, he telling the truth about his wrongfulness on himself. Gotta give him that, and they still accept it. That's the problem. And he's right. They see right through Wayne, but still want to be with him. And then he says, but wait till he find out about Shayla's dreams about Thin Pockets Anthony. He's going to light her up. And so I told you guys that Shayla is starting to fall in love with Anthony. So Cynthia D. Pope says, Amber, you're good enough for Wayne in the bed. He's after you because some other man wants you. Once you're by yourself again, he will treat you the same way he did before. 100%. I agree with that, because that's what I've been saying. Once Anthony leaves Amber or goes crazy over Amber or whatever's going to happen with that situation, because I can see Psycho coming out in Anthony and some of these other skits, Wayne is going to have nothing to do with her. So Diamond Taylor says, I agree with Wayne and Shayla. Aunt is too good for her, and Wayne telling truth. The most people who be your cheerleader and in your business more than yours is hiding something, like her feelings for Anthony. So they both telling Amber the truth. That's right. Two things can be true at the same time. So Eric Goodman says, why ask Wayne that question? Why, Amber? He will tell you what you want to hear. Wayne is telling you that he will not be faithful to anyone, and she is willing to lose it all for him. This is just a sad, and I think he meant ass. This is just a sad something. And as soon as Anthony leaves you, so will Wayne. Keisha Jones says, I will be so glad when Anthony catches her and Wayne. I just gotta laugh, says Princess Nadine. And then Jacqueline Ho says, and Anthony does deserve to be treated better. And then she has a bunch of laughing emojis. Marcus Hill says, God made you, he bought the ring, and laughing emojis. And then Alfredo Clark says, this is Wayne's real life, y'all. Just playing it out for us. Wayne is an original player, but he tells the truth. So in, who was it? Otis, was it Otis? On the Martin Show, player from the Himalayas. Okay, that is what Country Wayne is. Sorry. So Lasagna Leonard says, I hope the next skit say when Anthony pops up while Amber sitting on Wayne's lap goes wrong, because that's the other thing. Wayne and Amber are always sitting on Wayne's porch, sitting in them chairs like they in the country. Amber be on Wayne's lap, they just be kissing, and it's always somebody walking up to Wayne's house unannounced and uninvited. And so every time the camera like pans to the side of the house, everybody's sitting there on pins and needles like, who's walking up, who's walking up? They don't care, okay, they just don't care. So then Lucretia Davis says, if sleeping with you is wrong before the wedding, I don't want to be right was a person. So true. Like Amber keeps justifying that it's okay for her to keep having sex with Wayne because she's not married yet, but as soon as they get married, she's going to stop. And then Janita D. Kane says, people judge others and forget about what they are hiding. Whoo, if this ain't the truth, Country Wayne. Frederick Jones says, we all want to see Anthony catch Amber and Wayne together. Might be the other way around. Arby or Amber might catch Shayla and Anthony together. I don't know if Anthony and Shayla will ever get together. I hope not. Shay Maddie says, it's Wayne's shoes being on the wrong feet for me. So I'm about to go back and look at the video because she seems to think that Wayne got his shoes on the wrong feet. Linda Coleman says, Amber, you are breaking your own heart by cheating with Wayne, who doesn't want any commitment, but Anthony is willing to give you the world. Hurry up and get caught already. And if you break this engagement off and run to Wayne, he's not going to want you. And then she has a lot of confusing emojis like, girl, I don't know what you're doing. Althea Glanville says, I really thought Amber had more sense, but she is so gullible. No way in the heck that crap Wayne be spitting would have me messing up with someone like Anthony. And then Kelly Webster Reynolds says, Amber is so slow. He basically told you he enjoys you because you're in a relationship and he doesn't want to be tied down. Crystal Larry says, the analogy of Anthony buying the ring versus God making Amber was wild. So Wayne fears Anthony more than God. Nah, he fumbled that line. And then last, Donald Lee says, this is the ish I be talking about. Some women make these decisions and then turn right around and play victim. Let me get this right. You mean to tell me Amber is really asking that question if Anthony too good, is Anthony too good for her? Heifer, you are cheating on this man with this business partner and your ex, WTF. What if the shoe was on the other foot and those shoes be filled with Shayla feet in them? Yo, number is flat out wrong. At this point, it's not even on Wayne. It's on you, Amber. Whew. So what do y'all think about Amber and Wayne? Okay. So that was it for the second video, where Amber goes over to Wayne, telling him her problems with Shayla. And so in the next video, Shayla and Amber make up. Shayla comes to Wayne's house to apologize. Oh, and guys, for those of you who may not watch the Country Wayne skits, these 3 videos that I've covered in this video were taken from September 1st, a few weeks ago. So September 1st, 2023, you can find these actual videos, and I think I'm going to drop the links. I think YouTube has this new feature now where you can actually create like a YouTube logo in the description field, and you guys can click on those links and go watch the videos if you don't follow the Country Wayne skits. But you really should follow the skits, okay, because although some of them are poorly written, they have poor character development, but I must say in the past few weeks the skits have gotten better. So I don't know if they have new writers. I know they're bringing in new actresses and actors because of the writer's strike that's impacting Hollywood. So they may have new writers. And I was going to mention this when I was talking about Mike Bliss being on the Ready to Love show. So all of the skits used to be Wayne, Country Wayne, about Country Wayne and his life. And then he brought in Mike. And so I think Mike has a line of skits. So some of the skits I'm going to cover were actually part of Mike's crew, his team of people. Then there is a guy, Damien, I can't think of Damien's last name. He may be under Mike's skits, but I think he's kind of branching off doing his own thing, and they kind of deal with the street life. Then Chase Walker, who actually films the Country Wayne skits, he now is bringing in his own storylines. And so I think I think it's great that, one, he's providing these actors opportunities, and 2, he's allowing them to expand their knowledge and their expertise by directing and writing some of the skits. And so that's why some of the skits seem to be more well put together than other skits, because I'm telling you, about 6 months ago, like, the comments were not about the actual storyline, but about how awful the writing was, and like, come on, show your followers some respect and act like you care about the storylines. But I still don't like the fact that they'll introduce new characters, and maybe they're testing to see if the audience is resonating with the storyline or with the actor or the character, and if not, they just write it out. But I hate how several of these characters have children. They've introduced the children, then all of a sudden you don't see the children anymore, but the parent is still on the skit, but you never hear them mention the children. It's just a lot going on, but it's still engaging and entertaining, and I enjoy it. And plus, as a writer, I think it makes me a better writer, because now it's making me hone in on like little discrepancies and little things that didn't make sense. So one of the reasons I love watching the show is because it has helped me with my own writing when I'm writing my novels, to be more intentional about character development, about consistency, about carrying a scene all the way to the end. So kudos to Country Wayne and his teams for bringing us this information. And also, I am hearing that Country Wayne is actually trying to get a sitcom, and I think that would be cool, but he definitely can't take some of them writers with him. And I always said, and like, this has always been something that I wish could happen. If you were a fan of Martin, the show Martin, what do you think about Country Wayne? And I don't know if it can happen now, because I don't know if Wayne and Jess Hilarious are, on talking terms, because they seem to have an up and down relationship. But I thought it would be so cool if they brought the Martin show back, and then Martin and Gina had a girl, and that girl name was Jess Hilarious, right? And that Pam had a baby. Well, Tommy passed away, so it can't. Well, I guess it could still be Tommy and Pam's baby, but Pam had a baby, and Country Wayne is Pam's baby, and that Country Wayne and Jess end up like in a relationship. I think that would be hilarious, and like that would be the new storyline for the Martin show. It's like Just Hilarious and Country Wayne in a relationship. But we all know that Country Wayne and Just Hilarious broke up and have gone their separate ways. So I don't even know if they're still cool with each other or still talk. But I bet they could make that happen if the dollar was right. But anyway, Wayne is shopping a sitcom. I don't know if the sitcom is based on any of these skits, but they would definitely have to step up the writing. So now let's move on to video 3, which is going to be the last recap in this particular video, because on September 1st, these were the only videos I think that covered this trio, Wayne, Amber, and Shayla, and their little situation. So Shayla comes to Wayne's house, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, Amber and Wayne be sitting on the porch, people just be rolling up unannounced and uninvited, but Anthony has yet to come, you know, unannounced, right, uninvited, or roll. Like, who is going to catch them together and be like, dang, what is going on here? Okay, so she comes to apologize because she wants to be a woman and apologize face to face. She said that she spoke to her sister, another character that was introduced to us about a month ago, and we haven't seen her anymore. We don't know if the sister is still in town, what is going on. So the sisters told her that she had overstepped her boundaries, that even though she feels that what Amber is doing is wrong, it is not her place to tell Amber that she's wrong. So Shayla says she wants to apologize face to face, and instead of just saying thank you and I'll try to do better, Amber gets on her high horse, okay, and decides to quote Adele. Y'all heard that new Adele song going around on all them reels on Instagram where she say, I'm a grown woman and I can do what I want to do. Well, that's what Amber tells Shayla in this moment. So Amber seems to think that she can break things off with Wayne whenever she's ready. It's her life, and she can blow it if she wants to, or she can blow up the whole thing with Anthony, but she's the one that's got to live with the consequences. She just wants Shayla to be there because she has no one else that she can share her dirty little secret with. So knowing that Shayla is against her having an affair with Anthony, Amber still wants to be able to come to Shayla and tell Shayla all the little gritty details between her and Wayne, and I think that's disrespectful. And I think I've been that friend that's doing something I ain't have no business doing, but I'm calling and telling my friends all my business, you know, and they probably thinking like, probably hanging up with me, calling each other like, is this girl crazy? Okay, so I think it's wrong, you know, older, wiser me. It's wrong. Like, if you know your friend is against something that you're doing, you shouldn't force them to be a part of it by calling them, giving them all the details. Let me know what you think about that. So Amber admits that she probably can't stop seeing Wayne as quickly as she can, or thinks that she can. Like, she thinks that, oh, once her and Anthony get married, like, she'll probably be with Wayne after the bachelor party and then get married the next day, and she won't want to be with Wayne anymore, and we know that that is not going to happen. So Shayla stands firm that what Amber is doing is trash, and Anthony is a great man and deserves better. Amber insinuates that Shayla is in her business because things aren't great between her and Arby. And Shayla was like, well, where did that come from? How did this become about me and Arby? And then Amber goes on to tell Shayla that she needs to get a toy and please herself if Arby isn't satisfying her. And Shayla was just like so confused. She's like, I don't use toys. I don't do that. Like, and I think Amber said something because Shayla was like, I don't want to borrow your toy that you done put inside. You're like, what is wrong with you? So, child, that's how Amber deflected by telling Shayla, you know, listening to Wayne, like, oh, you're not happy in your own life. Arby's not satisfying you. That's why you're all in my business. And so Shayla tells Amber that she sounds like a junkie who says that they can quit anytime that they want to. And I agree with that. Child, what do y'all think about Amber trying to flip the script on Shayla and say that, Shayla just not happy with RB, okay? So, down to the comments, Jose Dorado says, if I was Shayla, when her heart's broken and she needs to cry and vent about it, I'd send her back to Wayne. I would not open a ear to that noise. And guys, the comments that I'm reading are like the top comments on the Facebook page based on the number of likes and responses that the comment got. There are literally thousands of comments on. Some of the videos have like over 10,000 comments, but basically they're hitting the premise of what most of us are thinking, but I just capture, go through like the top 20 or 30 and pick the ones that I think cover the gamut of what I was thinking. So then someone named Jamie Tilly Lowry says, Amber, Shayla is trying to be a good friend to you, but as usual, you are not trying to hear it. So Puff, your dream wedding will be shattered and gone. I think, she says, I have a feeling we are about to get to the good part, the end of the tunnel. Kanisha Pierce says, okay, I remember this was September 1st. We ain't got to the end of the tunnel yet, but the wedding is supposed to take place the first week of October, so I think we're getting close. We can see a little bleep, okay, at the end, a little light coming through. So Kanisha says, I guess my question is, how would she feel if Anthony did the same thing with Ro? Good question. Ro and Anthony used to date. Okay, so remember, they just be passing each other. Ro has dated Wayne, Anthony, and Mike. Amber has dated Wayne, Anthony, and Mike. Is somebody else on the show that dated all three of them before? I know Ro and Amber definitely. So she says, she almost lost it when she seen him give Ro a hug. Well, I guess I am going to stay out of Amber's business and let the pieces fall how they may. All right, girl. So Clarissa Douglas says, Shayla, let it go. You have done what you were supposed to do as a friend. You told her she knows you are speaking the truth. Like she said, if it hits the fan, she can only blame herself. So Ria Donna E. Cherry says, your best friend said were not, I think she meant said you're not good enough for Anthony. That's pretty low, but it was the truth. I see the anger and resentment starting to affect Shayla. Like I said, might be a fatal attraction here. Yes, definitely a fatal attraction if Shayla continues to go after Anthony. So Frank G. Andrews Jr., this is what is wrong in the world now. Why is Shayla apologizing for being a good friend? I had the same question, Frank. Everyone wants yes people as friends, knowing as soon as she get caught, she gonna be at Shayla's house crying. Most definitely. Keith Esco Roberts. To top it off, Amber wants Shayla to sit there, watch, and not say anything. If Shayla can't have an opinion, Amber, you can't expect she will be there to listen. This heifer wants it her way with everyone else except Wayne. She loves any scraps he leaves her. Let's see, Decidra, Monique. Of course you don't plan on losing him, but you should be old enough to know karma is real, and whatever that is done in the dark will come to the light. Shaking my head, Amber, you really don't know what you're doing. You always get touched when you see Wayne around another girl. Shaking my head, I hope you snap out of it soon, but I don't think you will. Laugh out loud. And then the last comment was Dr. Allison Roberts Marks, who said, sorry, not sorry. Shayla has been Amber's truth through this. She is pitiful not to take heed. Amber is spewing famous last words and has become comfortable and haughty in her mess. Be for a great fall, okay? And so we can only hope that they fall, but with the Country Wayne skits, we be waiting on like huge explosions that never happen. Like we have been let down so many times on how things would turn out in real life, but in Country Wayne's world, he always comes out smelling like a rose. So guys, this is my introduction to recapping these Country Wayne skits. Hopefully I think I like this format where if in the same day there are multiple videos touching on the same topic, to just combine them into one video instead of doing 8 to 10 separate videos. I think that's the way I am going to go with this, and try to keep it at like around an hour or less than an hour. But anyway, if you made it to the end, thank you. Okay, I hope to get better. I may tweak some stuff down the road, but please like the video, share the video, and most important, comment on the video, because then that will tell YouTube to share the video with other people, and then hopefully I can gain some traction. I also mentioned in my last video that I did that I covered a topic for 4 years, and now I'm shifting away, or I have shifted away from that topic because it's pretty much died down. And so YouTube is pretty much treating my channel like it's a brand new channel. So I got to build it back up again. So if you like, if you comment, if you share, that all that engagement only goes to tell YouTube like, hey, you know, this is some good content and other people need to know about it. So until the next time, which probably be a few hours from now or later tonight, I should talk to you guys later. Bye bye.